Hello, everyone! It's me, Colt Sebastian Taylor here. Welcome to the Longshots Dungeons and Dragons. Oh boy. Back.
I do that every time, okay? Continue.
Back this week, once again. As you may notice, 2 empty portraits. As we had 2 tragic deaths last week. One more drawn out than the other. So let me throw it over to the man with the plan, who is not named Dan, Mr. Silent Buck.
Yay! Yay!
Now, every week, like clockwork, I have always defaulted to checking in on how we're feeling this week with the quippy, how are we all doing this week? I think this week, more than any other, is probably appropriate to ask that question, because as pointed out, we did just lose not 1, but 2 characters in our starting party. So with that context in mind, how are we feeling this week?
I feel like it was kind of your fault, Jordan.
Well,
you weren't even there.
Starting off,
I was gonna say, if it's gonna be anybody's fault in this room, it's yours, because you had rope. I know you did, because you used it earlier on in the night.
We left it on the dude. I couldn't have used it.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, that's
You're
true.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, any other thoughts?
I don't know. I'm leaving it to the actual people who died.
I mean, I'm feeling excited. I mean, sad but excited. Mixture of
Yeah, ready to try something new.
This is not the first death we've had together as a cast, but this is the first early on 2 core dynamic characters, because before, in the previous campaigns, you all have joined at separate times, but we played much longer, and we were already at higher levels where it was easier to survive. So I guess another question, is this a little different feeling or any way else than how you guys have played the previous campaign? Does this change the way you see the game at all?
I'm scared now.
I was gonna say, I'm definitely scared now. I said this last time, but when I kept taunting the fucking villain, I don't know if I said this on stream or off stream, but when I was playing Alien, I was literally just yeah, fucking kill me, do it, bitch, you won't. But now I don't think I want to do that anymore because I'm scared because they actually will. So
I mean,
making Abstract your little bitch was a point of displeasure for me. Throughout any time, I'm like, dude, how do I make a villain serious anymore? He could deliver some dialogue that, by all standards, would have been oh yeah, that's great. You would have told me to eat a dick, and that's where we were then.
Listen, he needed me. He couldn't kill me.
So edgy.
It's okay. That's not gonna happen this time because now I like Gallo said, I'm afraid. I'm frightened.
Yeah, I'll add on that, and apologies again if my audio is effed up. I'm driving.
You sound fine, actually.
Yeah, you're actually a lot better than you think.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hyundai for making great onboard mics. Hashtag not that.
Sponsored, not sponsored. He's in the external Hyundai. Tell us what you see out on the road.
I'm behind a U-Haul, and there's an asshole sitting in my blind spot with his brights on.
What the fuck? What a guy.
Yeah, I gotta love it.
Maybe he's playing a different game.
He's obviously the main character, guys.
Yeah.
So to kind of touch on that point, I think, obviously I got, I think the first was there a true character death before Meow in the Longshots?
No, not one that was lasting.
Yeah, I was gonna say not one that
completely
mattered. That sounds mean. I'm sorry.
Any deaths that did occur, Revivify magic was close at hand.
Yeah.
Or the players left, which
that happened too.
Yeah.
For me, I've always kind of gone into D&D with this idea that anything could fucking happen. I mean, we're literally rolling dice, and the consequence of a bad roll, it could mean the death of your character. Like, the reality is that's just the game that we play, right?
Oh,
so it's a dangerous
completely.
world that we exist in. And
It's real life.
I try to approach it with that in mind. But, also we can still be goofy and have fun. But yeah, the reality is Faerun's a dangerous place. Like, shit can go wrong real fast. And environmental hazards are real. And dangerous monsters are real. And the mechanics, if we're not careful, could very quickly off one of us, right? So I think I'm personally hoping that everyone is a little bit more aware of the dangers, but still able to have fun. That's my biggest thing, because I think personally the danger is part of the excitement, because we all fall in love with our characters, and to lose them it sucks. But to me, that's part of what gives us the gravity of the decision making that we go through every single game that we play together. Otherwise, if there's no stakes, it's just not. It's not as fun, I guess. Maybe I'm just projecting and speaking for myself, but I really enjoy when I know that if things just go really south, something real bad could happen. And that makes me want to learn as much as I can and get as good as I can, because I think
Damn on day. Worst sponsor.
Come on, that was like the
looks
best
like we're
heartfelt TED talk
having
ever.
reception issues out in the boonies. Give us a moment while we try to contact Hyundai.
Well, I'll chime in here.
Get rolling. That's just it.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was
monologue.
that was a great
Unfortunately,
point.
it's
That was a
not
great point. Totally heard all that. We didn't lose you at any point during that conversation.
That's how I feel.
Great.
I agree. No, that was a great TED
Yeah.
talk. I didn't know I signed up for that.
A
tonight,
little
but
erotic.
I'm happy that it
Very
happened.
erotic.
I loved it.
Very
Erotic? What?
I think that's
Whatever
that's my pep. TED Talks are porn for me.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I understand what you mean. I understand what you
Alright,
mean. It's like
I'm storing this in my
knowledge
memory
porn.
banks.
It's great.
Yep. Everybody make note.
Of what?
Nothing. It's all right. We'll loop you the clip.
No, I wasn't. I didn't listen. Wait, I didn't hear. Oh my god, I didn't hear.
We'll let you know later.
Did I say
Yeah.
something?
No.
But
No.
Okay, good. I wasn't
everybody
here.
get kind of a
Okay, so
chance
then
to
okay.
chime in. There was a lot of talking just then.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I thought, well, Brentland was one square away from not making it also.
Very true.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, no, this game is just as dangerous as I've always thought it was.
So I never really delivered necessarily a mission statement or a way that I want you guys to play a certain campaign, but I more want to give you feelings. And the main feeling that I want you to take away from any game that I try to run is that you overcame something by your own power as a player, as a character, and it wasn't handed to you. Which I feel like would make that victory seem that much more powerful.
Mhm.
In regard to that, I'll point to White Plume Mountain, which is a game that I had run for my previous Saturday group that I keep up with, my own personal friends that I've been playing with for ages, versus you guys. I don't think, beat more than one boss or part of that dungeon. The crab, they most certainly boiled themselves alive and managed to escape. Didn't even handle the west end, I don't think. But you guys were able to do all three chambers there, no problem. I know you guys have what it takes, and sometimes we do lose people, but that is another feeling that I want to get across. You know, the way that you guys roleplay with each other, imagine the stories you'll tell down the line when they lost a core member of their party that not only had great moments in combat, great moments in problem solving, but lasting conversations around a campfire or boat trips. So, hopefully, you don't feel like I'm trying to crank the difficulty up to maximum. I think I'm finally just letting you guys do you.
You took the training wheels off.
Right.
Which is
I feel
good. Like sorry.
I feel like it was always like, for instance, the way I died, that was not like that would have happened no matter what the difficulty was. I feel like that was you adding any difficulty.
That was
yeah.
For me, at least, I'm like, this is just a reminder.
Well, that brings me to another point.
I like that.
And before I get to our recap tonight, there's a thing, right? There's the difficulty of you versus the monsters on a flat plane, maybe with a building or a wall or a piece of cover, right? And then there's entirely different combats that we're starting to get into now, which is 3 levels with a central shaft that each see out into one another. These now, again, more 3-dimensional spaces you're having to juggle between. Some of the difficulty is the environment, which, as Funbox kind of said there, is a difficulty in itself. It is a pillar of play. It is the exploration part of it, which happens in roleplay and it happens in combat. When it comes to things like that, I know we've all recently got like climbing gear, for example. These are your times to get out of the box creative, perhaps, because there could be things like carabiners, for example, inside those climbing kits, or some type of clips. Instead of trying to tie yourself to it, you might just hook onto it or something like that. It's these little things that are the role play aspect of exploration and combat. How well are you, the character, using the tools that you've acquired for yourself? So, as we move forward, I challenge you guys to find weird uses for things. Maybe get a bag of caltrops here and there. Maybe get a bunch of ball bearings. I think Vel has previously pilfered lots of weird things. So.
I'd like to add on
that's
that
one for the graveyard, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, you said Bell.
Nope. Yep.
I did hear that, but I wasn't sure.
I've got to have a base username to call somebody.
I was gonna say, I think it was. I think it was just.
Characters, so.
Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
I just wanted to add to that point, more like a counterpoint to that. A not good example of this would be to take the immovable rod and put it in front of a door on a moving ship. That's not a good use of clever mechanics. So don't do that, because that almost killed everybody.
Did make for a great sequence though.
It was pretty fantastic.
Really fucking funny. Anyway, so yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Buck. I think that's so real. And for those of you that enjoy getting creative and enjoy like role playing, like it doesn't end at the dialogue, the end of dialogue in the beginning of combat. There's so much that you can do outside of just rolling an attack roll on your character sheet. There's so many things that you can do, and so much of it is influenced by what's around you. And don't be afraid to ask Buck what's around you, because in my experience, he's more generous with information than a lot of DMs that I've played with. If you're looking for a rat to polymorph into a dire bear, like, you might find one if you ask. There's always a creative way to approach most problems, and in my opinion, that's the most fun part about D&D. It's just really getting wacky with how you solve problems. So, anyway, I'll shut up now. I don't have the ability to mute myself, so you guys might have to put up with a little bit more rambling tonight than usual.
This is the hottest talk we've ever had.
I was just gonna say, like, I love this. This is great. Like, I love, like, all of what you guys are saying is, for me, completely true. And I agree. You guys are taking, like, the words from my brain that I didn't even know were there. Like, and yeah, I love all of it. Like, especially, like, I know I joke a lot about how, like, oh my god, if my character dies, I'm gonna be so, like, it's part of the game and it's part of the risk, and that's what makes it fun. So, like, I completely love and understand that, and it's like one of my most favorite things. Like, as much as I'll complain about it and be like, guys, I don't want to die, like, it's part of it. So I understand that, and I, like, me personally, like, I love that, and I love that risk. So I'm so happy that you're taking the training wheels off. Like, last season was a great, like, learning opportunity for all of us, and it was a great build up, and now it's like we're ready to move on from that level and like keep going and keep experiencing more and getting better at, and like what's it called, what Funbox said about like finding different ways to roleplay and stuff like that with like our environment and stuff like that, instead of just with each other. Like, there's so many more opportunities, and I'm just so excited about it, and it's great, and it's awesome, and you're great at being a DM, and everything is great. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, good.
You're great.
Yeah. So
I was holding a heart up to you. I realized you couldn't see.
From here, then, I'd like to lead us into our weekly recap, where
Yay.
A somber scene will be before us.
Not yay.
Someone new this week. We're rotating this season.
I'll give you.
I went last week. Yeah. I went last week.
I'll take it.
Do it.
All right, hit us.
Yeah, all right. Just so we're all on the same page, you agreed to this.
Wait. What speed are you driving at? This is the recap at how many miles per hour?
At 85 miles an hour.
What's that in kilometers? What's that in kilometers?
That's super speeding in the state of Georgia. Anyway,
100 something? Question mark?
I'll post it. Continue.
Last time!
Jesus.
On the Longshots! Dungeons & Dragons! The group found their way after some light roleplay at the tavern, in which things that I don't quite remember happened. We made our way to the... Was I there? Maybe I got in late. I think I got in late. Anyway, we did some roleplaying at the tavern, and then we met up with the guards at the mine, and then we went inside. And inside we found some rodents of unusual size, disproportionate, you may say, size to their surroundings. And Bijou, I got the name right, didn't I?
Yes.
Help me out here. Okay,
yeah,
thank you. Sorry, I don't have anything in front of me except a car on the road, so I have no notes. Bijou scouted the mine, found some rats of rodents of unusual size, and no real signs of anything until we got a little bit deeper in, and we found a pulley system that led down into a lower floor of the mine shaft. So we kind of made our way through the mine to the pulley system. Ida was going to go down. Aaron wasn't having it, just knowing Ida's propensity for clumsiness. So Aaron went down first and found our first kobold and murdered it, and then murdered another one. Spoiler, they weren't aggressive, allegedly, at least according to them. But something else was. So as we were conversing with the kobolds, we came across some corpses falling from the top of the mine shaft into a bottomless pit, into what I can only assume was the Underdark, many feet down. One corpse after another. Turns out they were our friends that went into the mine with us. They didn't appear to be alive, but we couldn't really tell if they were dead. They were just motionless and quiet. They fell. We went back up to investigate. And as we were heading to the mine, or to the pulley system, one of the kobolds that Aaron tied up that wasn't killed was apparently torn in half. So that was spooky. And then, we tried to figure out where this thing was. We were talking to some kobolds. I don't remember their name. That's irrelevant. They weren't important, because I think they might have died. I don't know. We didn't really learn the fate of the kobolds, because something way more important happened. As we were splitting up at wit's end, trying to figure out what was stalking us and eating all of the things, Ida misty stepped across the cavern, and our encounter began with a surprise. And unfortunately, one of our comrades attempting to cross the chasm on a tightrope slipped and fell, Marama, to her death at the bottom of that pit. And after a long and arduous battle with line of sight, unfortunately, Ida also fell at the end of things. And we finally slayed this giant beast. Bretlin almost joined the fate of Marama and Ida, but Bretlin was saved at the last second. And then I think that was it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that was pretty much everything. That's
a very somber evening.
Yes.
So then,
very somber evening.
Deep in the third level of the Termalaine gem mines, just after the Grell is finally defeated, its body just weighing you down for a moment before resting right where the crater would meet your current walkway. Bretlin, you've seen your more recent friend, Marama, and Ida fall down a pit in front of you. What's on your mind?
Bretlin's going to stand up, sheathe his sword. It's going to kind of like poke or look over the side and just see the water rushing down. Is there like a loose rock nearby?
Yeah, there's an entire pile of rocks that were being like hewn out. This is currently like a gem portion of the mine.
Knowing that the rope across the chasm has been snapped and they're going to need help to get over there, but before he goes down there, Bretlin's going to go to pick up, like, I would say like a baseball-sized rock, pull out a piece of paper, and then write a note onto it that will say, if you two survived, be safe. I hope our paths cross again. If someone else is reading this, please help our two friends. I'll never forget either one of you. Bretlin.
Bitch, excuse me?
What?
Are you leaving us?
No.
Okay, that's what I took up.
No. He's gonna tie twine around the rock with the note and then toss the rock down to the chasm.
All right. With a sort of quick and silent, the rock descends into darkness.
I thought that was a note you were just gonna leave, like, for me and Aaron to just die. I was like, okay, I guess you're leaving us.
You would figure something out. Katina's still poking around out there doing lines of coke.
Excuse me, moon sugar.
Katina, you are on the same level as Bretlin. You're back by the bucket, and he's just kind of around the corner. You are on the second level, and meanwhile, a level below you, Aaron and Evander are currently not necessarily trapped, but the only way across this 30-foot gap on the lower floor was a rope and a bucket pulley that went across rather than up this time. So what are you up to?
I'm gonna watch Bretlin do all that and then kind of walk over and look down over the edge and be like, I'm sure they're fine.
Is the grill still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
how big is
just corpse now.
How big is the beak on it?
I mean, it's fairly large. Almost, I would say, as big as your chest.
Okay. Bretland's gonna look at Katina and say, Aaron and Evander on the other side of the chasm, down.
Yeah, they're down and to your left. And if Evander and Aaron, you guys look up and to your right, you'll see them 30 feet up.
So how do we get to them?
There's a stairway down the opposite side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So once you,
however,
there's no rope across the chasm anymore.
Yeah. So the question
is there
now,
anything lootable? Like,
part of it is like I could like chuck it to the other side if somebody was there to catch
there
it.
are tons of like pickaxes and I will clarify something else too, just in case you guys are in a gem mine. There are pickaxes everywhere. If you're looking for loot, the loot is in the walls.
Yeah. Wasn't there also like a cleaning station too? So I would assume that there's
Yes.
like a bunch of like already polished and clean gems there. Not polished, but like okay.
But it,
Buck.
yes.
Amos is on the top floor, if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
That if my quasi photographic memory is serving me, the top floor kind of wooden pathway runs parallel to the third floor that we're stuck on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Aaron is gonna call out to Amos and say, "Go get the kobolds with the rope."
Kind of bob his head and go to walk his normal heavy pace, and then kind of puts his foot down on the rickety scaffolding and slinks this time off towards the kobolds. But yes, Katina, to answer your earlier question, is there anything around to loot? Tons of gems in the walls, and tools of all sorts.
Okay, we probably don't have time for that right this second.
And then let's see, anything else going on in the next minute or so that it's gonna take for this kobold to come back, because he is coming back.
Fucking murder him.
Aaron's gonna look over to Evander and put a hand on Evander's shoulder and just check in. Are you okay?
And he's just kind of looking over the pit where Ida and Marama like fell into, and he's still kind of standing in the same place, like in the midst of like he was untying the rope about to help, but then that didn't really happen. So I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be here right now. I wish I was at home, but that's not a possibility.
Me neither. But we'll get out of here soon enough.
Bradley wants to carve that beak out.
Yeah, do it.
And take it back
Right.
as proof and a trophy.
Just a strength check for me.
There we go. Where is my character sheet? There we go. Right, stroke. I'm gonna let someone else do it.
What did we get here?
2.
Okay.
I'm carving it out. I'm not pulling it out.
You can make an argument for a dexterity check.
It's gonna take you a little bit of time.
That's fine. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. You're gonna make a concerted effort over the next few minutes to like really hack through that thing. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, it's messy. So Amos comes back with 2 of the kobolds in tow, each of them hefting a giant rat that is basically their size.
Oh.
Amos just kind of looks over the edge, smile.
Aaron will yell up to the kobolds. Put one end of the rope in Amos's mouth and then drop it down.
Okay. Unties, drops it over to Amos, and Amos leaps it out and then kind of goes into a half-sit brace stance.
Now, if I remember correctly, Evander and I are 60 feet down, and that's a 30-foot rope, yeah?
Unless you cut any length off of it, I think it's 50, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it 50? So then basically I could use a help action to boost Evander up.
I think you muted Evander.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking to myself.
Yes, you are.
Leave me alone. I do this all the time. I just talk to myself.
Oh, I thought you were telling us something. I'm sorry.
No.
So yeah, Aaron would then. I'd like to use the help action to boost Evander up to the rope to climb up.
All right. So then, Evander, you're able to climb this rope vertically about 60 feet to relative safety.
So wait, he's expecting me to go on the rope and climb up?
Generally, or be dragged up by a mechanical cat. Your choice.
Yeah. It's also an option.
Well, you're wrong if you think he's just gonna do it and not throw a hissy fit about it. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's what we're looking for. He's offering to boost you up there. So basically, he turns around, looks over, and is like, "Hey, you want to boost?"
Do you expect me to go over that pit that people just died in, and you expect me to climb the rope?
I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect this conversation. Would you like to get out of here or not?
Well, of course, but there's multiple ways to do this. Do I have to climb? Or can I just simply be lifted?
Amos is pretty strong. How good is your grip? He can pull you up.
What does that matter? Like, do I have to, like, roll to hold on? Like, what's the deal here? Because if
just
it comes...
flavor.
Okay. If it doesn't matter, and I can just get up safely, we're good. We're fine. Everything's great.
Everyone's a little cautious this week.
Yeah, sure is.
Everyone's a little shy about rolling.
The good news is you're not really over the chasm. You're going from one solid platform to another, so there's not a lot of risk here, except 60 points of fall damage or 60 feet of fall damage. Worst case.
Fine. He, like, begrudgingly grips on for his life. He's like, do it.
You get slowly and painstakingly just dragged up as Amos starts to back up. It's like the world's slowest elevator, except in free fall.
He's like deep breathing. He's like,
just imagining Evander has like the biggest pout face of all time right now.
What
and
is
it's
it?
right about this time that you're being brought up to the 30-foot height, and you can kind of lock eyes with Bretlin and Katina. Katina kind of looking over the walls and checking things out, and Bretlin, God's bless him, is just hacking at this creature's beak.
For him. So yeah, whenever he's at that point, he'll like get off and like go towards the nearest wall and put his like back towards it.
Well, you are back on level 1, 30 feet above the other folks behind
God.
Amos. Basically where the bucket would let out onto Katina and Bretlin's level.
Great, because we can get up that way. I don't feel like going back on that thing. I'm good.
Okay, I don't want to do that.
All right. Well, the rope has been placed back down for you as well, Aaron. Team Bretlin and Katina, you guys are still free to use the rope bucket lift to get out of your area. Just a minute up and down, and then beyond that.
Yeah, I think once he has the beak secured, then yeah, and then, I mean, is the polished gem room on the first floor?
It's actually the polished gem room that is back on the first floor on your way out.
Okay, I think Bretlin will definitely get a handful of those for his trouble, and so he can get some good whiskey tonight. But yeah, he would all the way up, then back down for Katina and her up.
Indeed. All right.
Beautiful.
So that is most of us, in fact, now all of us, back on level 1 with Aaron having been brought up by his faithful companion Amos. The kobolds blink at you and go, "So how'd it go?"
I think, much like you, we lost some good friends, and I think it's best that we just get out of here.
Indeed. So you're gonna tell the mine owners that we'll work? We're okay to stay? We're not gonna hurt anyone?
We'll pass along the message. Yes.
Oh shit! Out of character. Did anybody get that gem?
The one that Ida went for?
Yeah. I'm not getting
We
it. I'm
died
just
for that
saying,
gem.
can somebody... Yeah, she kind of died for that gem, so... Aaron?
Here I thought no one would remember.
Aaron, can you go get it?
We're
Please.
something so badly.
I don't know
done
about
here.
it in character, so somebody's gotta do it.
Aaron can get it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do I need to do? What's in front of me to get to that room at this point?
It's actually just the drop back down. Right where you were standing was just outside that room.
Okay.
So.
Well, I technically would have needed to somehow get up that 10-foot gap by myself, so I would need to find something to stand up on. I'm assuming like a box of mining equipment or something. So
Well, that should be easily
if we
done
wanna
by
just-
the workroom over in the bottom right-hand corner. So yeah, you could find something like that. It's fairly easy.
Yeah, so we'll just say that redacted. That's what I've been doing, and then I would grab the gem on my way up, put it in my bag of holding.
Thank you, Aaron. It's much appreciated.
And before I climb up the rope, Aaron will just kind of look over and think some quiet thoughts, and in remembrance of Ida and Marama, and rejoin the group.
You got the gem.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
But can you add that to my character sheet?
I absolutely
So I'm gonna
can.
forget. Thank you.
All right.
But how much in gems did we snag on the way out?
2 worth 25 gold, 1 worth 50. The rest were still in a state of disarray.
So, 100-ish.
Yeah.
Alright. That's 25 each. That's 24 of us.
Oh my goodness. So,
Math is easy now.
you guys are exiting the mine then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Time to head back.
Okay. So, exiting the mine, of course, the 2 guards that were originally posted outside came in with you, meeting an untimely end to the Grell. Outside, the bitter 10 towns winter hits you like a freight train, having spent time in the cave for so long. A thought crosses your mind. Who exactly do you want to tell about this adventure? As you recall, the current town speaker was sort of being boxed in by regional politics. Another speaker from Targos is apparently a little crooked and is trying to instill somebody else as the speaker here. Or do you tell no one about what happened in the gem mine? Wrong place, wrong time. These things are up to you because the people you were going to turn it into have now passed. So the choice is yours on what you do with the information that the gem mine is now open for business.
How populated was the area around the mine entrance?
I mean, it's a small wooded path that maybe stretches out, gosh, a couple 100 yards, if that, off the town. And by wooded, I mean,
unless someone
like,
was actively going out of their way, would anybody see us entering or exiting, especially with those guards having been posted outside?
Only those that would have seen you travel that direction from town. Necessarily, you may not have been going to the gem mine, but solid bet.
Who owns this mine?
So it seems to be owned by the town of Termalaine itself. Any time spent here, you'd kind of get to know that it's a weird law in Termalaine that they all kind of follow, where it's like the original founders have it under shared ownership of the town. So the speaker kind of runs it, which is kind of why the political intrigue is so heavy here.
There's the speaker Nerith, and then there's Minister Nerith, or I guess speaker, and then there's also Speaker Oris, who's the one guy, and then Minister Nerith Speaker Nerith wants to replace Oris with somebody else right now. So I think, yeah, like he owns it, doesn't he? Is what you said?
The Oris is the guy who owns it currently. Yep, Speaker Oris.
Okay, yeah.
Which one's a little shaky?
Nerith, he's the freaky one.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to replace Oris.
I mean, if this mine belongs to this town, we should tell whoever is in charge of this town that it is no longer occupied by beasts.
Speaker Oris.
Yes.
That would be him.
Aaron will tell the group maybe we should take a moment to rest at the end.
I would very much like that. I'm not about to. I need a moment.
We should see if Ida and Martima left anything behind at the inn. Is there anything we can send forward to family or friends? I'm sure they would appreciate it. So I don't know if they did, but we should take a look, see if there's anything left behind that needs to be sent elsewhere.
Everybody make a perception check for me.
Perception check. Roll
it. Actually, Buck, can you make a perception check for me? Thanks.
I can.
Oh goodness.
I can.
14.
Ooh.
24.
Katina. Coming in rogue life.
I want to make a note.
Ew.
Evander has if we're outside, Evander has like his hood on and he's like
Edge mode.
Edge mode, exactly. Edge mode activated.
All right. So, Katina, you guys are just leaving the Termalaine gem mine. So right where I have the Bretlin token on the map is where you guys would have just come out of that wooded walk. Katina, with a high roll like that, over top this loud wind whipping through the trees, you hear what seems to be like joyous cheering, the clinking of glasses, and these must be shattering glasses, in fact, and music. All the hallmarks of a damn good bar party.
Oh, I'm gonna want to head right that way.
Is it like at the same bar / inn as the one we were staying at?
On the other side of town. So the east side is an inn. And pretty much just that. They serve drinks as a hospitality thing. However, the Blue Clam over on the west end.
Oh, okay.
That's the bar.
Got it.
Is Katina the only one who hears us?
Yes. It's pretty damn loud. I was looking for...
I got bad ears, guys.
bad ears.
The wind is pretty damn loud. My ears are tucked underneath my hat.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. That's my excuse. I'm not focused on that. It's pretty far away, actually. She is a tabaxi. You know what? This makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
Good hearing.
So I'm gonna ignore everybody else in the group and say, Amos, come on, we are needed.
Oh my god.
And start running towards the party.
Bretlin is
leaving us behind.
Bretlin is just entirely too tired for this shit. And just like, all right.
Evander looks like he wants to go after Katina, but doesn't really have the energy for it, and it is like assuming she'll come back later.
Everyone's tired.
Emotionally, physically, yeah.
Aaron will look over to Bretlin and say, I'll join you to help with their belongings. I want to look after Katina first.
Well, I guess we can do that afterwards. I feel like splitting up is probably not a great idea at this moment, but I guess their things could wait.
Evander, I think so too.
Evander, could you tell your friend perhaps to clue us in what she's running off to sometimes?
Katina, I don't believe that I have any authority to... Actually, never mind. Who am I kidding? Of course I have the authority. Let's go after her. And he starts walking.
Bretlin kind of just glances at Aaron and... All right, well...
Aaron shrugs.
Okay.
I guess we could probably use a drink first before we go through their things.
You know, that's a wise statement.
And he'll say a little quieter, and let's keep Katina away from their things also. I feel like she has a bit of sticky fingers.
Aaron will silently nod.
All right. Well, I think Bretlin would be 20 feet behind Evander, hands in his pocket.
Evander is walking very, with purpose, but still has everything hidden and is actually kind of looking around quite a bit.
Aaron is walking.
Amazing! Good for you! I'm just kidding. I love it.
All right. Well, making your way down the main drag, following the northern edge of Termalaine.
Sorry.
Halfway down, you can finally all hear the sounds of joyous ruckus partying. The sounds of music being the most clear. Getting closer, you can see that the hearths are unusually lit. They're not skimping out. But the smell. For the first time in a long time, you guys smell roasted meat. And we're not talking fish. This is game. Maybe it's some type of elk, or maybe it's rabbits. It's something gamey. And it smells good.
Grumble, grumble, grumble in the stomach.
Oh boy.
Tina, you're first through the door.
Do I see any unguarded beverages?
The scene before you is one of a bit of chaos. You've got the main, I would say, musician here up on a table as a few patrons are sort of haphazardly circle dancing. More weaving in and out. It seems to be leaning over, grabbing drinks from tables as they pass, putting them back down. It would be a scene where it would be pretty easy to get a hold of a drink.
Perfect. I want to find the closest drink and give it to Amos.
So in walks Amos, which draws the wide eyes of a few people as they're kind of going back and forth, but the flowing of the alcohol tonight seems to dull Amos's appearance to people. And he kind of just enjoys the splash of alcohol swill.
After that, I'm going to walk over to the drunkest person I could find and ask for their name.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll me percentile for that.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that, uncharacteristically, it seems like these folks are in absolutely high spirits by the time you all get through the door. And you think you know why. Because over this long, almost like Nordic-style hearth that's in the center of the room, on roasting openly above the fire, a copious amount of rabbits, elk haunches, and various other delicious meats.
Not rabbits.
Oh, yes.
Oh, poor Bretlin. I got a 10.
Oh my god, you're right.
Okay. Well, that worked for what I have in mind. Kara.
You see separated from the rest of the festivities is a woman with her hood up, sort of almost covering her face. She's dressed in black and she's kind of half smirking, almost snarling, at a group of guys who are kind of seemingly harassing the musician. She's got her feet up on the table and she's wearing thick combat boots.
Whoa.
With
But is
her
she
arms
drunk?
crossed over his chest. Not necessarily. She does have a tankard of ale kind of on the table next to her that she's kind of drinking.
Well.
Did you say combat boots?
Yes.
Picture's hot.
Katina is going to compliment her boots.
Boots.
Without taking her eyes off of the men, she's just kind of like says thanks. And then when she notices the men kind of like do something that she doesn't like, she immediately stands up and just, hey, you got a problem there?
Katina's gonna try and kind of hold her back a little bit and go, wait, I have an idea. Do you know any of their names?
No. Did you? Do you?
No. I need a name of one of them, though.
Oh, good plan.
I think Kara will just roll her eyes.
Going well.
Kara will just roll her eyes. She'll walk up to one of the men and just sock him in the face.
Oh.
Get it, girl.
All right.
God,
so,
is Brett Laird just walking in on this?
I mean, this is the scene before you, as Katina has already approached, and this is going on. Is it Mazarine?
Yeah, Mazarine is, I guess, how I've been saying it.
Mazarine,
Yeah.
Okay. You've been playing the music here for the better part of a half hour. Your set's been going pretty well, but the crowd is pretty drunk. From the side table, it seems like maybe a tabaxi instigator of sorts has roused another patron who has now come to stalk one of the people on the dance floor in front of you, potentially turning it into a mosh pit. Also, Kara rolled a hit.
I start to play the D&D equivalent of "You've Got to Fight for the Right to Party" by the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
There we go.
That's good.
All right. I would have also accepted sabotage.
Not great. That's a 13.
That's enough to hit an unarmed dude in a bar.
Drunk person.
Yeah. Let's see damage really quick, because I wanna see a knockout punch.
Hey.
That's a D8, right?
Whatever that particular
7?
damage you get is, that'll work.
7 points.
he gets to half turn and just wow, right to the cheek and chin, slump out cold.
KO.
Damn!
Get it.
She'll just yell at him. No means no.
Real consent is key.
And then, I guess bonus action. With bonus action, we'll turn to the next guy and do another hit.
All right. Wait.
And that's a 16 to hit with your offhand.
Yep.
Offhand, backhand.
And that's a 4. Do I add my modifiers to that with an offhand or no?
I mean, if it's still an unarmed strike, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's another 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'll be
So
out cold.
She'll just down her tankard, walk over, and then with her tankard just like just wallop a guy in the face. And then turn around.
Nice.
And turn around, and then with the back of her elbow just like break another guy's nose.
I love it.
Okay.
Now, are you playing a martial character?
Sure am.
Oh my god, yes! Oh, this is perfect.
So now it will be turning into absolute chaos. From here, we've got Katina lifting drinks left and right in the confusion. What else is going on? Because we're about to roll a little bit of initiative here.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. Evander's looking at this scene, and when he walked in, he looked like he was about to go over to Kara, but quickly decided against it for the time being, and decided instead that she was busy and that he would go over to the bar instead and ask what type of drinks they have.
Bretlin's gonna bonus action second wind.
Okay. Well,
12 hit points back.
I'm not helping in this.
Yeah. Right about
I was
this.
gonna do this afternoon.
All right. Well,
Wow.
as we go to roll for initiative, go ahead and hit a break.
Okay. We'll be right back with a bar fight.
Yay!
Hello there, it's me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, your handsome swashbuckler rogue here on the Longshots D&D. This part of the session, we are currently on break. You're probably asking yourself, Colt, what happens during the break? What's going on? Why did you go? Well, you know what, sometimes we eat snacks, bathroom breaks, and we can only sit for so long to stretch our muscles, but we do talk between the segments. So, if you didn't want to miss that, then my friends, go down below and join the Discord channel. The link is in below. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to us via the podcast, join the Discord channel and you can chat with us throughout the week and listen to the behind-the-scenes conversations and other fantastic stuff. And, yeah, well, hey, listen, sometimes these breaks are 5 minutes long, sometimes they're 10, but this break is over right now.
Hello.
Hey!
Welcome back to the Longshots, where
We're
violence can
back.
happen at a moment's notice.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. I need to... No, I'm sorry. I gotta turn on some things, some layers. Boop, 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 boop. I'm fine.
All right.
Keep going.
So, roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Chaos ensues.
Everyone or just people willingly wanting to be in the combat?
If you are trying to stay out of the combat, you can find your way over to the bar.
Okay, yeah, that's where I am.
Or towards the door.
No, I'm at the bar.
I would
I got
say
a 16.
Bretlin looking at Kara or Kara?
Kara.
Kara will pick up on perhaps some military background and will move to assist. With a 20-5, Jesus.
All right. So, Bretlin, Kara has reached across 2 tables, socked a guy in the jaw, turned back around, hit somebody else, and is reaching now for a tankard. What do you do?
Is there anyone moving to hit her from behind?
The current dance circle seems to be heading her direction. Gauging the intent of any of these few individuals, you spy one who you assume to have been a friend of the other, who's like making his way about maybe 20 feet towards, but he's kind of doesn't have the room yet. He's trying to weave through.
Theater of the mind. Bretlin will move. Bretlin will move to intercept that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the proximity I am to Kara is, but he will move and sort of stand in front of them, sword drawn, tapping him lightly on the shoulder, and say politely, "Best take a few steps back before you will be picked up with your friends. Kindly, sir."
Intimidation check.
Ooh. Doot. I'm a big old rabbit. 3. I'll hold an action.
Sorry. In disbelief. And then he looks down at the sword.
No need for that, mate.
Great. Take a step back. Let your friends handle their own business.
Okay.
Kind of shoves on.
Charlie, the man's got a sword. The fuck?
Anything else you'd like to do?
I mean, if there's no one else looking to clock her in the back of the head.
Not currently. There's about to be a lot of NPCs hitting other NPCs, and there might be chairs.
If she glances my way, he'll just give like a tip of the hat to let her know that he's not there to fight her.
She'll scowl.
That's fine.
All right. Then between your turn and Kara's, what we have is most of the circle that was dancing now disrupting into chaos. The guy you just talked to kind of slipped out, and now it's become a full-blown mosh pit surrounding Mazarine, where one guy goes to throw a punch, completely misses and falls on his ass, tripping a few others. Yet another guy tries to throw a punch, misses, tripping a few more, so there's about 4 or 5 people down in a pile on the back end of this table. From across the table, just past Mazarine's face into another patron, though, somebody picks up and throws a chair. That impacts the recipient of the chair smack is indeed knocked out at this moment, the chair breaking somewhat against his chest. We move on then to Kara. Kara?
Can I pick up the guy that I just knocked unconscious and throw him at the guy that Bretlin was trying to intimidate?
Just make me a strength athletics check, and why not?
That's a natural 19.
Okay, yep, you've definitely got the heft and speed enough. Roll to hit and add strength with proficiency. We will call this a what's the word? Improvised weapon. Yeah.
6 plus, you said strength plus my proficiency?
Yeah.
So not great. 11 in total.
That's enough to hit a man. Yeah. So how are you doing this?
I'm just gonna pick this guy up on my shoulders and just overhand throw him across the room and hit the guy in the back and knock him to the ground.
Chaos ensues. Nobody has ever seen a guy pick up another guy and just throw him, let alone a chick pick up another guy and throw him. So this is in a frenzy. we then go to Mazarine.
Okay, so sorry for the delay there. And me realizing you meant me.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah, basically like, oh wait, yeah, that's me. I am going to, as my bonus action, I think this is my bonus action, I can summon a spirit, determine a spirit tail, so I don't actually have to like give it to anyone yet. Expend a use of my bardic inspiration roll on the spirit's table. Could be fun, and see if it's something I actually want to bestow on someone.
Alright.
It is a 6, and I will figure out what that means. So, is is Kara within 30 feet of me?
Yep.
Okay, so for a 6, I hit her with the tail of the Traveler, technically. So she gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of my Bardic Inspiration dice plus my Bard level. And whilst she has those temp hit points, her walking speed increases by 10 foot and gains a +1 bonus to AC.
Okay.
God damn.
So she gains 4 plus... Oh, now that Independence tells me on 4 plus, what was it, my Bard level, which will be 5. So 9 temporary hit points, plus 10 foot speed, and +1 AC. And that was my action to bestow it.
So what does this look like as it's happening? For me personally, I can picture when a fighter punches somebody in the face or when a ranger shoots an arrow. But what does it look like to bestow bardic inspiration to you?
Like I'm singing the song right, and the lyrics become a bit more like pointed, like as I sing, "You gotta fight for your right to party." And I'm just like looking directly at Kara, and there's this kind of like semi-tangible, very faint kind of light reaching towards her and like touches her as she kind of feels a bit, I guess, faster and harder to hit.
She's vibing.
Yeah, so she's basically directing this. It's like she's singing to Kara, and there's this faint hint of magic that's really hard to perceive, but yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, I'll work on that, on how to describe things.
I love it.
No, you're good. I was just curious. So, a round of chaos ensues before finally our half-orc bar owner and chef comes out with an old, semi-rusty musket, reaches it up into the air, goes, shoots through the ceiling, everybody's ears ringing, and it's dead silence for a moment. He goes, "Get off of yourselves. There will be more food."
Huzzah!
As he then kicks open the back door to reveal yet another El Conch to be put onto the fire, which is met by joyous shouts. Tonight seems to be one of celebration. Though for you, poignant juxtaposition of two feelings. As the crowd kind of settles down, what are we getting up to?
Well, Bretlin will sheathe his sword and turn to face Kara and politely tip his hat and say, "Very impressive person throwing."
And what's it to you?
No, just complimenting. You seem like someone who has at one time served in a military of sorts. You have the vibe.
Well, I don't anymore, so What can I do for you, Cottontail?
Love it.
You'll see Bretlin kind of like stand up a little taller. Bretlin Loyalfoot, Captain, retired. Pleasure to meet you, Miss.
You ain't getting my name. So back off, Cottontail, and just let me enjoy my my drink in peace.
Well,
And
obviously,
she'll kind of shoulder check you, and she'll kind of shoulder check you as she walks by. She'll grab another tankard from like the table and maybe some like food. She'll pick a rabbit specifically from the table, and she'll go sit down back in her seat in her corner booth with her and heavily place her feet up back on the table.
I think Bretlin would square up for a moment. And then just give a sort of like tip salute. And then take a few steps backwards and turn to head back towards wherever Evander and Aaron were.
Evander's at the bar right now.
Yeah. I would say probably visibly annoyed, but not wanting to get into a fight with anyone. Clearly insulted.
Deeply to its core.
Yeah, on several levels. I think Bretlin, how much would a bottle of whiskey be?
Tonight, they're in good spirits. You can probably get the bottle for a silver.
He's going to get a bottle of whiskey for a silver. And I don't think he'll probably say much to Aaron or Evander, but he'll kind of find a table by the window. Get 3 glasses. He'll put 3 glasses down, one in front of him, two in front of empty seats. Pour 3 glasses. Think for a moment, and then put 2 small little quiches that he usually cooks in the morning in front of the 2 glasses that aren't with anyone. And kind of just sit there.
Make me a perception check.
Me?
Yeah.
Alright. I got too many screens up. Hang on. Perception. Alright. 20.
You kind of looking slightly out the window, and maybe for a moment you bring your elbow onto the sill, and it has this kind of thud to it. The kind of thud that makes you think that there's maybe a strip a foot wide on this thick windowsill that is hollow.
Casually looking around, Bretlin will inspect it and see if he can pop it off to see what's going on in there.
After playing around with it enough times, it seems like there's some sort of latch kind of keeping it shut. But when you press down on top of it, sort of like one of those spring-loaded self-closing mechanisms, it's going to kind of pop open.
Sound effects for the podcast.
Inside what seems to be a hastily constructed, it's almost like glued with cement, a leather bag kind of against the inside, which seems to hold a small roll of parchment.
Curious. Whiskey sip. The bag is glued?
Yeah, so inside the hatch, there's a leather satchel that is like free hanging onto that wall inside the hatch.
Okay. So can I pull the satchel, or can I only reach into it?
You can only reach in.
Okay.
You could try to pry it off, but it won't come willingly.
No. I'm gonna reach in and pull out whatever in there.
All right. There's that roll of parchment.
Yeah.
As well as a few dusty old coins.
Ooh, how many coins?
That is going to be 3 of the gold pieces, 3 of the silver.
Sweet. Take a look at the parchment.
Seems to be a drawing of some sort. Studying it more closely, it seems to be a drawing of Icewind Dale. However, curiously marked are, of course, the 10 towns arranged out and such. That's familiar. But there are 2 other places marked out. Both to the south, towards the spine of the world.
Okay.
You're not sure exactly what they mean. There's no legend on this map, but the map markers are different than that of the 10 towns. These seem to be what seem to be 2 fence posts put together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one seems to be a classic like castle turret or battlement rampart, something of the sort.
No notes or legend? Does it look like a map that's like was hand drawn, or like a map that was like sort of like a mass produced map?
Most certainly hand drawn.
No signature of author or anything?
No, though the slip does seem to be hastily torn from a larger book. So perhaps maybe someone sketched this in a notebook and ripped off half the page.
Yeah. Bretland will fold it, put it in his pocket, talk to Aaron about it later.
Indeed.
Interesting. Close the latch. Son of a bitch. Come on. There we go.
Finally rests perfectly flat.
And he'll just sit there with the 2 empty seats with 2 poured drinks, 2 quiches, and a drink himself.
Excellent. What else is going on?
Did Mezzarine spot everyone coming in looking a bit different, I
Rough.
guess?
Yeah,
Rough.
the folks that had walked in looked like they had been in a fight previous to the one that just broke out. One of them came in decked in full armor as well as a robotic beast. You think maybe a cat or a lion. You're not sure which. That was pretty strange.
Yeah, I feel like Maisie will like kind of take a break, like signaling to the bartender or whoever she's employed by them or something. Like gonna take a break and head over to chat with the guy with the armor and stuff, which means I think leave that till Aaron comes back. But yeah.
All right.
So she's
Who's
headed over to say hi.
sitting next to Evander, so you know.
Oh, is he?
I think so. You 2 are at the bar together.
Perfect. Yeah, Evander wanted to ask what drinks they had at the bar.
A lot of vodka bases, though it seems they've also brought out some more of the finer things. We're talking our whiskeys. We're talking our other sorts of maybe old school hillbilly XXX bottle moonshine.
Ew.
Do you have anything non-alcoholic in a bar?
I've got juice. We normally mix that with things.
Well, you see, I'm not. Well, you see, he's like contemplate. Hang on, let me roll for this actually real quick. 2s, I'm drinking like odd numbers, like the 2 4 drink, 1 3 don't. All right, it's a 2. Okay. What is your cheapest yet What's your cheapest option?
I like to call it the palest ale.
That's good. How much for a glass?
It's on the house.
Whoa.
He comes back with what seems to be like a metal mop bucket of sloshing liquid. And instead of like trying to pour it, he just grabs a mug and like dunks it in the bucket almost violently and sets it back on the table. It somehow still has a head of foam, which he scrapes off roughly.
Disgusting, but you know what? He deserves it. Okay.
Tastes better than it smells.
I honestly don't care if it tastes terrible.
Me neither. That's why it's free.
Oh, all right. I see. It's meant to be. Are you is this just mop water?
It's not just mop water.
How strong is this?
Stronger than you think.
Well, thank you for letting me know, because I will not be drinking all of it.
Don't do a whole bucket unless you want your name on the wall. And he points to a spot near the door where it's a hall of fame
Kara's
of all
name.
the people who've ever finished an entire pail of the palest ale.
Is on it. Kara's name is definitely up there.
Freshly on it.
And he's like, he still has his like head down. He's like, believe me, any other day I would. And he'll take a sip of it. And then I guess
it tastes like if you had mushy wheat thins that you then gave an alcohol burn.
Disgusting. He looks at it with such disgust, but he drinks it anyways because he just does. And then I guess Maisie comes over to talk to Aaron.
Maisie would come over and initially just like sit next to Aaron, so...
Well, since Aaron's not here, Evander's
Seems
gonna...
to be rebooting.
Yeah, Evander's gonna lean over, because I assume Aaron's like in the middle of them. I think he went to check into his hotel. Or unless he already got in, and I missed that.
Like his character.
No, like the character went to the bathroom.
He went to the bathroom.
Oh, damn, okay, I guess I'll talk to his friend. Hey, how are you?
It's not easy to go to the bathroom in a full suit of armor.
No.
Yeah, it'll take a while.
10 minutes.
So
wait, isn't it 10 minutes off and 10 minutes on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He keeps his hood on, but he like turns towards Maisie. So, aside from taking my breath away, what do you do for a living?
Oh shit! Oh wow! Roll for attack.
Maisie kind of chuckles and says, "I collect stories and spread them for. And you, my friend, seem like you have a story."
One that I'm not too keen on sharing, I'm afraid.
Come. Surely it will do you good to relieve yourself of the burden. And she calls out to the bartender, a good drink for my friend here, please. What do you recommend?
I have plenty here. And he's like pointing to the horrible
the
glass
Das
of...
boot of
I tend to have a loose lip, let's say, when I
Very
drink,
well.
and I'm not keen on...
All right, well then, allow me at least to offer you a reading. And she pulls out this nice, taken care of, like, wooden box that she opens and it has tarot cards in it. Perhaps to divine some of your past or present or future, a question you may have to be answered. I could offer my services in that.
He looks intrigued. And then I assume where Aaron was, he'll scoot over one seat to where Aaron was sitting, so now they're like beside each other, and he'll...
The bar's still hot.
Yeah, exactly. So how exactly does this work? Do I need to... What, do you know the information? Like, what... Are you...
It is generally an open-ended thing. You should have a question or an idea of something you wish to know or understand better in mine, but not something too definitive. Out of character, the only thing I could find about Taroka cards was the very specific reading done in Curse of Strahd, so I don't know if there's a specific way anyone has in mind that I should be doing this.
Did you happen to actually get the deck by now?
I have, actually, I'll turn my camera on if you want to see, you can see it, but I do have the physical deck in my hands.
So,
oh my god! Okay.
If you'd like, do your setup like you would, and you tell me what the cards are, and I'll help divine them for your current situation.
Have we done this before? I feel like we've done
this
with the crow and like the.
Yes.
Okay, this is great. Oh, this is great.
Back from the old Curse of Strahd arc.
Yeah. This was long ago. So I don't think they were part of that, eh? It was just me and people who were not here anymore. Damn. Oh,
no,
this is a throwback.
I wasn't there when I haven't done.
No, like I think it was just me who did it out of this group for the specific.
So in
campaign.
terms of a reading, should I be doing like the classic?
Sorry, your
audio
cut out at the most particularly terrible moment.
Oh,
no. Maybe turn your camera off.
Yeah. Oh no.
Perfect.
It's stuck perfectly too, like. Oh. Oh man.
Maybe
what am I reading?
Maybe we cut until she comes back.
So, as these cards are being folded out onto the table, we swoop back to the window.
Beautiful.
Where Bretlin is just eyeballing nature's, though, falling once again as it has for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, if no one is sitting there with him, he'll just sort of sit there and just sort of sip his whiskey. I mean, he's just doing his thing that he has done every time someone he has traveled with has possibly died. So that's where he is.
Kara, getting up to anything in particular?
I think she'll kind of like finish off her this will be like her second or third tankard of the palest ale.
The palest ale. I'm too proud of myself sometimes because I served it in a pail.
That was perfect. That was amazing.
And she'll kind of like scoot herself up and go talk to Maisie if
Maisie's giving me a tarot card reading.
Yeah, she got disconnected.
Whenever she's back. Oh.
But yeah, I had to turn off my video. It did not.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
We gathered.
At all. Yeah.
Proceed.
But, hey, you've seen that I have the cards. I'll just tell you what they are.
Yes.
There you go. So are we moving back to that then?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready for you if you are.
So my main question was if there's this idea you had in mind as to how many cards I should draw or anything like that, or if I should just go with kind of my random past, present, future 3-card draw thing. That is the only thing I know of, or if I should do some sort of layout similar to what I did.
The only thing I ask is that you'll, if you're trying to do something general, split them between the high deck and the common deck, and do a high and 2 commons, or go ahead and do the full layout like Curse of Strahd, and we'll interpret from there.
Okay, so I think what Maisie will ask Evan, like, do you have a specific question, or do you want a general reading on your life?
I mean, I have many questions, but I would prefer a general reading if that means I don't actually have to speak.
I mean, some participation is appreciated.
Well,
but,
yes, I will, but
Yeah.
I'm not one
So,
to share.
With that,
What's that?
I said I'm not one to share.
that's all right. So it's a general reading. So I'll get you to shuffle the cards, thinking about yourself, I guess, to imbue them with your energy.
Fateful.
And ask Amanda to shuffle the cards.
He'll do that. He'll be like, he has magnificent shuffling skills, by the way. Like, I'm telling you, like, they are really, really good. Like, he's good at shuffling cards. He does the thing where he goes like, and he goes like, yeah, anyways. He gives it back.
And now,
Okay.
you can actually physically take those two piles, since I had you separate them, and now bring them back together, and then shuffle them physically.
Yes, I have shuffled them physically. All times. As we were talking. And she'll start drawing the cards. So, with what you said, did you say I should draw a high card and then a couple of normal cards?
I think I like the idea of doing the, the 9-card layout from Curse, or is it 6?
The 9-card layout, okay. I will have I think I have the Curse of Strahd module up and up. It'll just take me a moment to, like, go to that part.
Awesome.
Trying her best. You cut out quite a bit there.
It doesn't like me loading too many things at once. I've got too many tabs open.
Okay.
Try to a mobile hotspot because I had lots of data, but it's taking a while to transfer.
The joys of online D&D. Oh.
We do so love.
Okay, it wasn't. All right.
Okay, so it is a 5-card layout, excuse me. So you're going to do 3 down the middle, and 1 up top, and then another one down below for a 5-card total.
Okay. 1, 2. That is done. And that's
all right.
The basic deck, isn't it?
I believe this is going to be all of them, because I've actually got the translations for other stuff that I'll shoot you over in a minute.
Okay, draw the top 3 cards and lay them face down in the 1, 2, and 3 positions. So 1, 2, and 3 positions. And then draw the top 2 cards from the high deck and lay them in the 4 and 5 positions. There we go, that is done.
Excellent. So,
okay.
Mazza lines 5 cards out, Maisie, in almost a plus sign kind of formation. And whether it's some feat of her own or something about these cards, but they do give a bit of a shimmer once they're all laid into place. Flip me over the first card.
The first card is the Myrmidon, the 5 of Swords. Myrmidon.
The 5 of Swords. Yeah. From your use with the 5 of Swords, it could represent great heroes, a sudden reversal of fate, or the triumph of an underdog over a mighty enemy. However you'd like to relay that.
I have a look and at how dejected this person is, and say it looks like the triumph of an underdog over a mighty enemy. Is what I go with. Perhaps you are the underdog and you will triumph over some enemy, or have.
He just kind of
great odds.
Hmm. He doesn't really answer because he doesn't know what to say about that. What's the next one?
All right. Number 2 is the seer. Is of the fight pick.
Let's see. I happen to get a message here. One moment. You said the seer?
Yes.
Oh, an important card. Inspiration and keen intellect. A future event, the outcome of which will hinge on a clever mind.
To Evander, I say you should keep a keen eye out, for it is a clever mind that will determine the outcome of an event soon to come.
And he kind of like mumbles to himself. He's like, "Those bastards."
Right, and let me go back on to saying what card is number 3. Oh, whoops! I did number 5 instead of number 2.
That's okay.
Explains why that is. I'll do number 3 now, and number 2 can go 5th.
Yeah, I had shifted up to the high deck. I was like, oh wait, we're high deck, but that's okay. It was also poignant.
Yeah, whoops.
You're fine.
Number 3, I've double checked this time, is the 2 of Swords, the Paladin.
The Paladin typically represents just and noble warriors, those who have a code of honor and integrity.
All right. And yeah, perhaps you will soon meet a noble warrior that lives by a code of honor and integrity. I sense meeting a new friend of such kind close in the future.
Could that be you, perhaps? Because you're sitting right here.
Smooth.
I would not describe myself as a warrior, but thank you.
Not noble or integral. What is that word? How do you say that?
Integrity.
Like
with great
without
integrity.
nobility or integrity.
Yeah, perhaps I have a little bit of that, but
There you go.
the core message of this card is generally start a warrior with those, and perhaps anyway.
I was never a fan of paladins.
2, 3, and number 4. The 4th card is the Tempter.
One who has been compromised or led astray by temptation or foolishness, and one who tempts others for evil deeds.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, so I relay that and I say, I know not what to make of this, except perhaps this is also another sign to keep an eye out and be not led astray by temptations.
You know, where were you about 10 years ago? Because I could have used this information.
Well, I'm here now. She kind of like winks. One last card.
Love it.
Let us hope to end on a light note. And she draws card number 2, which becomes card number 5. The Enchanter. The 3 of, I think it's glyphs. Or is it stars? Read the symbol.
3 of stars. Inner turmoil that could come from confusion, the fear of failure, or false information.
I just look at Evander and say, I sense this one is to do with fear of failure for you.
As if I could ever fail. What are you
just
implying?
Because you cannot fail does not mean you cannot be afraid of it.
I am afraid of nothing.
Well, perhaps you're not such an interesting person after all, then.
Jesus.
Excuse me, I am very interesting.
And it's right about that time that Aaron comes clanking out from the bathroom. You went to the bathroom and had to take your armor on and off. That takes a while.
Got it. Upon hearing Evander say that he's not afraid of anything, Aaron will put a hand on Evander's shoulder and say, "Well, you didn't seem very keen about climbing over that hole a little earlier today."
Aaron, you better shut up before I do something that is so kind and nice. I will be over here. And he scoots away, takes his full the bucket pail. What is it? Palest ale, and he will chug it.
Just calling out after you. If you ever feel like telling your story, I'm a willing ear. Just sitting here.
He's chugging his drink.
Aaron will look over to this person in front of him. Say, he's like a cat. The less you pay attention to him, the more he'll want to talk to you.
Sounds interesting.
So true.
And I don't believe we have met. I'm Maisie.
Aaron, pleasure.
She reaches out a hand to shake his hand.
Aaron will lightly shake your hand.
Just draws it up into kissing the hand. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like a bird.
Damn, I should have stayed. No, I'm kidding.
Aaron will blush underneath the mask, but you can't see it, so you'll never know.
She says, as I was doing for your friend over there, I could also offer you a reading from my cards of prophecy.
Okay. Why not? Aaron will pull up a chair and ask what you're drinking.
I'm not drinking at the moment, but whatever you're having will do.
Aaron will order two whiskeys.
In the meantime,
Whiskeys indeed.
She asks him to once, as before, shuffle the deck of cards for her to imbue them with his energy in order to make it about him.
Okay. Aaron will do that. Buck, do you have my sheet of?
I do.
Can we add some pizzazz to it with a sleight of hand check?
Let's see. Shazam. That's a 10.
That top note, that cream.
Yum.
I assume I just shuffled the deck of cards like a normal deck of cards.
Yeah, basically.
The sound was crisp. There was a moment where you maybe could have bent them, but it seems like they've been infused with something.
Alrighty. So she once more takes the deck back and lays it out as she did previously. And begins to draw the cards for him. And I'm keeping close eye on the layout this time. For our first card, we draw the Avenger. This card, I do have that in front of me, so unless you want to add something, I can just
Nope, go ahead.
Read it, yeah. So the Avenger, this represents justice and revenge for great wrongs. Those who are on a quest to rid the world of great evil. She sort of smiles and says, perhaps you are the paladin my previous friend drew. With a bit of a wink.
Couldn't have written some better prophecies myself.
Aaron will say, I'm not much of a holy person.
Incidental. The great evil is great evil, regardless of how holy you or it is.
Perhaps. What else do you have?
For card number 2, we have the Illusionist. The Illusionist represents lies and deceit, grand conspiracies and secret societies, the presence of a dupe or saboteur. My guess is you have a secret of your own. More than that, I could not say.
A guy who wears a mask? No way!
Don't we all have our secrets?
Of course.
I suppose, though perhaps yours is on a grander scale than most. Card number 3, the Shepherd. That is those who protect others and one who bears a burden far too great to be shouldered alone. I am indeed getting a sense of you as somewhat of a warrior of very good bearing, given these cards. Or perhaps it is someone you will grow into being.
Perhaps I need a second drink.
Or a 4th card. She smiles. Our 4th card is the Artifact. Now, this card denotates the importance of some physical object that must... some physical or other... the importance of something that must be obtained, protected, or destroyed at all costs.
I wonder that
Something that... Curious indeed. For our final card. We draw the Raven. How interesting. This card presents a hidden source of information or fortunate turn of events, a secret potential for good. And she just kind of looks at him like, really curiously, like, there is something about you. Curious.
I agree.
Does that mean anything to you?
There is something about me. I need a stronger drink. Can I get you a second shot?
You and me both, buddy. Aaron, come on.
Can Kara come up at this point and just kind of like sling her arm over the back of Maisie's chair and just says, like, are these dickwads bothering you, ma'am?
Oh boy.
Oh no, quite to the contrary. I feel like I perhaps imposed myself upon them. But thank you for your concern.
Maisie, of course. No, I'm always here for you, girl.
Yeah.
Love her.
We'll look over at this other person. Kara, can you describe yourself?
So she's she would be classically beautiful if it weren't for the large scar that goes across her cheek. Her face is quite littered with scars. In addition to that, she's got kind of blonde hair that's like her roots are growing out, and half her head is shaved. She's wearing kind of dark clothes, and just almost has like a semi-permanent scowl on her face.
How tall is Kara?
That's a really good question. I really haven't decided that.
Please take the shorter version. I love the shorter version.
I was deciding between like 5'4" and 6'4".
That's a big range. You got
5'4".
Death by snoo.
Give me the short people live longer, okay? That's why we're so like we live longer.
Tell that to the people in the Middle Ages.
All right, I guess due to Alias's peer pressure, she will be on the shorter side of average.
Yes.
And again, wearing them sexy steel-toed combat boots.
Oh yeah. Aaron will look at Kara and say, I assure you, I'm the farthest from being a dick. What was your name?
You have yet to prove that to me.
Bretland just drinking by the window.
Yeah, Maisie just says, come now, Kara. From his reading, I trust him completely. He is some sort of great warrior defending us against an evil yet to come.
Right. I'm still waiting for my reading to come true. That you did for me.
Any day now.
Huh.
Sorry.
No, me too.
I think we were all there. Yeah, I bet you did.
I think we're losing our
There we go.
That shit was cold. Any day now. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Aaron will.
And you are.
Not drunk.
Look at Aaron.
And Aaron
Seriously,
will pass. Will offer a glass of whiskey to Kara, and assuming you accept, go get 2 more glasses.
Ew.
She'll down it in like one go.
Aaron will
Not
know
one to
this.
savor your whiskey, I see.
Life's too short.
All right.
Cheers to that.
So, as we sit here awkwardly.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Well,
Brother's
Aaron, I suppose.
Brother's a quarter way through his bottle of whiskey.
Do you have anything stronger than your palest ale? Please, bartender. This did nothing.
Well, there was the drinks that we used to light on fire. Those were kind of cool.
I love fire. Me, personally, I love fire.
I think you had to put a stop. I think you had to put a stop to that the last time I came in, didn't you?
I have a bottle of well, I can't keep re-shingling roofs.
Yes, yes, let's have some of that. Cora, my friend, I shall pay. I can't believe you're serving it again.
I never agreed, but
yeah,
well, I can help you.
We'll take
she kind of starts to hop over the bar to like go and help him serve.
We'll take 4 of your flabiest drinks.
So he's crafting a whole series of these shots, and he puts this what seems to be like a whipped cream topping on top of this shot that is a green liquid. That foam he then spikes with a cantrip, and it begins to flame up in a reaction. He goes,
let that sit for like maybe a minute. You know, make it a regular fire, not a magical one.
Maisie downs it immediately.
Kara downs it immediately.
There you go.
Me too.
There you go.
that is.
As he says, just 3, just.
Have you ever scalded your tongue on hot liquids?
Yes.
Yeah, this is like that. This is gonna be a nice, easy 1 fire damage.
Pain is an illusion.
1 fire damage.
In very uncharacteristic.
This is the only damage I've taken tonight.
Aaron?
Like behavior. Aaron's gonna take the 2 glasses of or shots of whiskey, and in traditional basic bitch behavior, crawl up on the table.
Oh my god.
And stand up and try to hush the room and say,
"Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god."
It gets eerily silent, and most of the patrons have mouths full of barbecued meat.
Evander's like
waiting.
taking his hood and like hiding himself. He's like,
Aaron will kind of puff out puff out my chest and say to the room, tonight, friends and patrons, 2 good friends were lost to us. And I pour these 2 drinks out in Ida and Maruma's name. And Aaron will pour the drinks down on the table.
I think in the silence, you'll hear Bretlin, still looking out the window, loudly slam his fist into the table to make a really loud bang, and then hold up a drink and go, "Here, here," but like never look back behind his shoulder, still looking out the window.
Marama will start playing, like pull out her lute, start playing the only song I can think of right now, which is "Tears in Heaven" by Eric Clapton.
Death.
The only song I can think of right now.
No,
Eric
hey,
Clapton.
she said Marama.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Mark it.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, so
They both start with M. Why did I do this?
I don't know why the fuck you did that.
the shots begin to pour out onto the table, and like the air is smoking as the like kind of foamy concoction just kind of does like chemical burns on the table before it quickly just being smothered out with a rag. The room is silent for just a moment before a resounding and a bunch more just people with food in their mouths.
Just spitting everywhere.
Yeah.
If you had to count, Buck, how many people were in the room?
I'd say a good 30.
30. How much does it cost? How much does a shot of whiskey cost?
Well, the bottles were going for a silver a piece, so let's break that down to its just most basic of a copper.
Aaron's gonna buy a round for the room.
Hey, look at you go.
The proprietor sets down his pail of palest ale and starts bringing around the whiskey bottles.
So that would be minus 30 silver, roughly.
No, 30 copper.
Minus 30 copper.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
three.
I'd say about 3 bottles will do it. So 3 silver, 30 copper, whatever you want.
I don't have access to any of my passwords on this computer. Do you still have my character sheet up?
I do.
Could you be my bank teller, please?
Cha-ching.
Monopoly guy, like the
Bretlin's going to go ahead.
I was just asking Buck to be Mr. Monopoly for me.
Mr. Monopoly.
Bretlin's going to clink the 2 glasses that don't have anyone sitting in front of them at his table by himself.
Damn, that's
sad. That's his tradition.
No, I love
it. After Aaron buys rounds for everyone, I'm gonna go over to the table next to Bretlin.
Hey,
Maybe just gonna kind of follow you.
Entourage.
Evander stays at the bar, kind of eyeing Kara.
That ass.
Oh.
Wait,
I think Kara, like once.
He's gonna follow me. Is that what you said?
Yep.
I think once Aaron jumps down from the bar, Kara will take like a sip. This time she'll sip the whiskey, and just kind of lean back with her arms kind of resting against the bar, and just say, "Didn't realize you'd lost people. Got him killed in the wilderness, or was that here in town?"
We went to. Oh.
Insight check.
Who?
All right.
You left.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you left.
Oh, I thought you were yelling that across.
No,
the
this
room.
was not necessarily across the room. It was just like right when you jumped down from the bar.
Oh, okay. So
you spoke
you
too
are
fast.
talking to Aaron. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely an insight check because Aaron's
For
still
what
kinda
though?
iffy about
Or
telling people.
You fucking don't know shit.
Guys, stop talking.
Oh god.
Stop talking. Let him. I can't hear what he's saying.
Sorry guys. My sound's really bad. I rolled a 4,
No,
so
it's
I'm
not
gonna
you. It's
really gonna tell you everything. Aaron will tell you that.
Oh, you want me to roll an insight check? Sorry, I thought you were rolling an insight check.
I rolled an insight check because I wasn't sure if I could trust you, and Buck rolled a 4 for me, which means I trust you implicitly with this knowledge. So I'm just gonna tell you everything about Darfrin's dead.
So you got him killed, is what you're saying.
No.
Sounds like it to me.
I suddenly regret telling you everything. And Aaron will walk away and go join Bretlin and say, sheesh, something's really stuck up that one's ass.
Yep.
Well, right. Military.
Turn back to the bar and continue to drink.
Get the sense she's from a military background, and sometimes it does leave an impression on people. But here, pours a drink for him. Take a seat.
I'll ting glasses with Bretlin.
Cheers, and cheers our two friends who aren't with us. Clink, clink. It's a bit of a tradition where I'm from. When someone falls, we have one final drink with them before they move on.
Indeed.
Although, I'm going to hope against hope that Martima landed on some big old sponge and Ida bounced off the walls, landed, and was saved by her, and those two are embarking on some amazing Underdark adventure, and we'll see them again one day. But
it's a beautiful thought. You know, the two of them had hearts big enough to share for the rest of us, because we're all clearly lacking in that regard.
Yeah. Ida was clumsy, but very, very sweet person, and Martima was a warm heart that was not what this area deserved. But pulls out like a little journal. You see him write down both their names and a few details about them. My previous patron always feared that she would be forgotten, which was strange because she was a princess, but it was a very irrational fear, so she always kept a book of names of people that she knew and fell to remind her that they would never be forgotten. And if they're never forgotten, then they're never gone forever. It's a habit that I picked up with my time with her. He flips through back 2 pages and you see a name, Colt Sebastian Taylor, and then you see him make a note, alive, ? See, I hope against hope because this person was dead, but apparently he's not. So, we live in a strange world, so maybe they're okay. Maybe they miraculously survived, but wherever they are, they're together, and they're not alone. So, that's something good that I'll hold on to, I think.
Aaron will pull a small little bottle, like a tincture, out of my pocket, and it'll be like a little small vial of liquid. It'll smell like lavender. And I'll say, hey, keep this on you. You seem the scribe type. Maybe it'll help keep keep a memory of the two of them alive. I know that I'd always liked her since. I think this one was a favorite of hers.
I will. Makes a note, puts the book away with the vial. Looks over his shoulder.
You notice Maisie has been hovering right next to you, scribbling notes down in a journal the entire time.
Oh, hi.
Between...
What a wonderful story. Thank you.
You're welcome. Brett will stand up and hold his hand. Breton Loyalfoot, Captain, retired. Pleasure to meet you.
Mezakine. You may call me Maisie.
Maisie.
Captain of what? Where are you from?
Oh, I am from the Emil Empire, far to the east from here. And I was a sword captain in their military.
Fascinating.
Please,
And you...
sit. Pulls out a chair for her.
Thank you, she says.
Aaron will lean in to whisper over to Bretlin. Careful. The other one seems a little protective. Just watch what you say to her.
The other one is a bit insultive. So, what can I do for you, Ms. Maisie?
Oh, I apologize if I was a bit rude. I just got excited at something new happening in town, some newcomers, and with perhaps some more interesting stories to transform into songs and poems and beautiful, perhaps slightly more embellished stories to tell people. I do enjoy collecting stories of great triumph and tragedy.
Well, one way to achieve immortality, so I'm told. Being remembered in stories.
I care more for the telling than for being in the stories myself, but I suppose it's good that some prefer to be in them, as that is the way. That's how I do my job.
Well said. Well,
forgive me. It's late in the night. I've drunk.
We're
a bit less eloquent than usual. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure as I overheard we lost two of our traveling companions, and so this is traditionally sword captains would get together and have a final drink with a fallen friend before they moved on to the next world.
Fascinating. And in this tradition, do you normally have a drink next to the bodies, or do you bury them first?
Well, he points to the two drinks with the two quiches next to them. Generally speaking, I mean, the bodies would not be propped up at the table here. You know, sometimes they're recovered, sometimes they're not. Regardless of that particular situation, there would be a gathering of friends and associates around a table, and whoever was missing would have a drink and a little snack at an empty chair.
She's clearly just writing notes on this, listening intently.
Last time
the Emil Empire.
Yes. Oh. Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay, last time I did this was when my former patron fell in battle, and thinks of it. And then time before that, another patron and her captain were, well, reported dead, but apparently not. So it's not a common thing, but I felt that these two earned this tradition.
Oh, so wait. Someone has risen from the dead? That's what I caught from that.
Oh, no. A former friend, close friend, I was told had passed about 10 or so years ago, and I have recently come across some information that perhaps that was not the complete truth.
Oh, I see. Deceit and lies.
Apparently.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's just way of the world, I suppose.
Were they captured instead? Are you going to go on a glorious quest to rescue them? Or leave them to their fate?
Well, I mean, that's a bit more involved. No, they escaped after committing a crime, and we were told they had been killed in battle, but they apparently had not. Him and I did not have. He looks a little sheepish. The last words between us weren't that of a kind of affectionate nature, so I'm not quite sure if he'd be too happy to see me again, but if given the opportunity, I would certainly prefer to mend bridges between them.
Fascinating. A story of star-crossed lovers. Duty versus love. When he commits a crime and runs away, do you cover it up and allow people to think he's dead? Do you find him or do you leave him be? This could be a good story. She's clearly like wildly embellishing.
Well, I mean, it was more of a brother to me than anything else, and
scandalous.
I mean,
incest.
He obviously went into exile, and I myself am in exile also. So I figure we could perhaps
You went after him in exile to reclaim your lost love.
Boy, I could see if no, that's not drinks. No, not anything like that. I trained him, then he went off and got promoted, and we got into a bit of a tussle when he ran away, and well, he could have killed.
There was a power imbalance there too.
He could have killed me, and he didn't. So there was some professional courtesy there. Drink.
This could make for a brilliant story.
I'm sure it could. I would appreciate you not using my name. Because if he reads it, he's a writer in Baldur's Gate, so...
oh, no, I won't use your name. It doesn't really flow very well anyway, so...
Oh, okay. That's a... Insulted twice in one evening, that's the first, okay.
Oh, it's not an insult, it's just the song I'm thinking of, the rhythm version. Oh, yep.
It's been a day, so let's do it all in one day. I would prefer that.
It is, in fact, getting later in the evening. The party is starting to wind down, but you still have rooms available at the inn, or is there any other business we need to attend to here?
Aaron would start. I'd start making my way towards the inn.
I was gonna say, yeah, Vander too. He's done.
Yeah, we should probably go back. I should probably just gather up those things where someone breaks into their rooms and look at them tomorrow. I think Bretland would probably, if Kara was looking around and made eye contact, would give a respectful tip of the hat, but not wait for any response and head out.
I was gonna say she gives him the middle finger.
He is already turned away by the time she's done that.
As they leave, Macy's asks, "Oh, are you staying at the other inn?"
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fun. Us too. She looks over to Cora and says, "Hey, Cora, we're staying at the other inn, right?"
We are.
Yeah. Let's go back to our rooms. And she's like, grabs
You in fact
Cora
would
by
be.
the hand.
Alrighty. Okay.
Let's walk back together.
Oh goodness.
Bretland will
I'm already long gone.
Bretland will say quietly, Aaron, that bard's friend is fucking obnoxious.
Is this in any way within earshot, like if I was listening particularly hard?
I mean, if you're standing right next to him, sure, but like, he's not mean to say it loudly.
Okay, she didn't hear that then.
Aaron is gonna slightly chuckle, but more importantly, Aaron is gonna try to match pace with Kara as we're walking back in the most awkward way possible.
Bradley does not.
She just kind of nods to you. Pit stain.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, you could tell.
Yeah, you got him to write down the shirt there.
You know, that's a term of endearment where I come from.
Are you flirting with me?
I don't flirt. Why are you flirting?
Good, because you're bad at it. No. She'll sock him really, really hard in the shoulder and walk forward.
A clang rings out in the snow.
I'm shipping this.
Maisie walking nearby looks at Aaron and says, I think that means she likes you, before like skipping ahead to go walk next to Cora.
I'll be like
Ara.
Putting my I'm assuming you punched me hard enough to like knock one of the pieces of plate off of the shoulder guard.
It might be dented.
Kunk. Oh boy.
Aaron will respond. She's all right.
Mm.
And then I'll just walk back.
Making your way back in to the east side. The old man still resting in front of the fireplace as Marta begins to do her last tidings and making sure everyone had a decent meal or needs anything else of her. Aaron, you can't stop thinking about that reading. It's been nagging at you. Sure, anyone can, pull a rabbit out of a hat, as it were, perform tricks. But maybe, just maybe, there might have been something to that. It sticks out in your mind, maybe, I should say.
Aaron might stay up a bit to pontificate.
All right. So what's the plan? Everybody head into their rooms?
Aaron
or
stay out and watch and make sure that the old man doesn't accidentally catch himself on fire.
I mean, if we have time, Bretlin would definitely go into Ida and Martha's room to get their things. I don't know if that's something to examine next week more in depth, but he would definitely collect those before slumbering.
All right, most certainly. Any effects they would have left in their room are right where they left them.
Didn't Ida have that? Didn't Ida have some sort of like missive or something regarding the book that we're trying to recover?
That was a speaking stone kind of thing.
One of the things left in her bag, the speaking stone from Mittens.
Oh, that fucker Mittens. I fucking hate that guy.
I love him.
My one regret was that before Meow died, Meow did not get to punch Mittens square in the fucking face.
You may have your chance as the campaign goes on.
Hell yeah.
Anything of interest in Marta's? Marmar's?
I feel like she probably had everything with her. She tended to, move around a lot and would keep everything she owned fit in her pack, and she brought that with her, so...
No trinkets left behind? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, just... the memory of her. I mean, I feel like I can't justify. I mean, she
No, you're fine.
No, that's fine.
No, at the moment.
No, I think Bretlin would kind of just look at her room, look around, and he probably would sit on her bed, pull out his book, and just try to jot down any more details about her that he will remember in the moment, so that as time goes by and his memory fades, that he can always pop back and have the reminders of her, and he would probably crudely sketch her in there. And a little sad that there was nothing to send on to someone else, or any next of kin or anything like that, or anything just to remember her by. But look at his book one more time and review the notes, and smile at the fact that at the very least he will remember her. He'll have information about her, and that's just the best he can hope for.
All right. Aaron, you said you were staying up?
Yeah, Aaron's just gonna think about the tarot reading, and then again just make sure that Old Man Winters doesn't catch on fire.
Are you downstairs?
Yeah, I'll be out of my room.
I think Aaron would sit with you. I mean, Bretland would sit with Aaron.
Okay. Like yes, I would.
Yes.
Is there anybody tending the bar?
Marta's starting to close up shop, basically for the night, making last calls, making sure anybody needs anything before she wheels old man up to bed.
Aaron will just ask for one last round for Bretland and I.
Indeed.
Is there anything interesting in Ida's room?
Her journals, for sure. She kept sort of a diary in, as well as like a dream journal. And if you pick up like her dream journal, you'll find a letter addressed to Matencia falls out. It's sealed. That's pretty much it. I also wanted to mention that Kara will come downstairs and help Marta put the old man to bed.
Oh. You just like fireman's carry the entire chair.
Yeah, I'm imagining like full like overhead lift, just carrying this man up the stairs.
The entire time,
100%.
just like, oh, thank you. Oh my goodness.
You're welcome, Marta. You know you're my favorite.
She kind of smiles. Oh, thanks. Mazzy. Something since that last reading you gave too hasn't set well with you, in the sense that it feels more guided than before. Typically when you do a reading, you get your physical senses really, but most things are interpretive. But the way that Aaron was reacting and the way that those cards fell, this seems more like instruction. Something you've come to know very well in your time and your travels. Something within you wants to really try to peel back at what Aaron's whole deal is.
I think she kind of spends she spends a nice sort of sitting by the fire downstairs, actually kind of just like in a meditative stance, just thinking, and coincidentally line of sight to the door to make sure that these interesting new people don't leave before she gets up. So yeah, she'll be hanging around downstairs, but a lot quieter than before as things obviously become proper nighttime. And
all right. Any last interactions that need to be handled before we skip to the next day?
I think Bretland will say to Aaron, so we'll have to tell someone about this mine being cleared out. I think the speaker of the town should know, as the mine belongs to the town.
How loose-lipped do you think the fighter is? I may have told her everything.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's not like we were on a secret mission about anything.
Yeah, but two guardsmen went missing, and we were the last ones seen with them. That could spread quickly in a bad way.
Well, I mean, we lost 2 people also. I mean, I don't think people will connect their deaths to us. They knew there was something going on in there.
Perhaps, but my experience in Icewind Dale is logic and justice doesn't always win out. It's a crooked place. Many places you go.
Well, the best you can do is be honest, and if that is not appreciated, then you force a truth that someone won't accept.
Aaron will chuckle. That's more like it.
Now, I am, if anything, practical, as my patron once said.
And this is me hoping our shining light of goodness and virtue that were lost might be found in you. And Aaron will place a hand on Bretland's shoulder. Well, you're the closest thing we got. I guess we'll have to make do now.
I'm just doing what I've always been taught to do, is try to do right by people. And, I once knew someone who cheated at a lot of different things, and it rarely worked out. I mean, worked out for a while, but did not work out in the end for him. So, I'm one to make sure that rules are rules for a reason.
Well, if someone that you do right by does wrong by you, I'll make sure to save an extra crossbow bolt just for them.
Good to know. What do you think our dearly departed Ida kind of hired us to find a book?
Yeah.
I feel like it would be proper to fulfill that contract.
We did get paid after all.
We did get paid. I am a man of my word, so I don't know what that means, but I'm willing to travel a little bit farther to see if we could figure this out for her.
Who knows? There might be more to this than we know.
Doubtful. I think we just find the book and then that's it. Clinkety clink. Probably wrap this up in a week. Tops.
One way to find out.
One way to find out.
I'm
Let's try not to bring that fucking Kara with us.
I don't know. She might be pretty handy in a firefight.
I'm not gonna deny that. She would be very, very handy to have in some fisticuffs, but boy, I only know one other person as disrespectful as she is. Yeesh.
Just one?
As disrespectful? Yeah, absolutely.
I can think of at least 2 in our group right now.
Who?
Aaron will pat Bretland on the shoulder. Have a good night, Bretland. I'm going to bed.
Good night. Respectful.
I like to think that Aaron was distracted by Kara's thighs, and that's why he told her everything.
Jesus.
Her thick thighs.
Oh boy, the queen.
Thick thighs with battle boots. Let's go.
Could crush a watermelon.
Yeah, she just see in the corner crushing watermelon, staring at Aaron with her thighs. God damn. The thirst is real.
All right. Then are we all turning in for the night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yarp.
Long rest it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sleep off the hangover.
Overnight.
Oh.
Aaron, your dreams are fraught with images of a younger you lost in the wilderness. Don't recognize the place you are. At least you didn't then. Wandering aimlessly. Tired. Hungry. Scared. Until two figures appear, high up above a waterfall, frightening you at first, but later giving you the tools you need to survive. It's that feeling that sort of awakens you in the middle of the night. When you open your eyes, before you lies a realm of two states of being, pure darkness and yet light, as these giant strands weave their way forward an incalculable distance towards a horizon where all strands intersect into a great weave. Greetings, Aaron. A voice echoes out, both monotone and high-pitched at the same time, in octave. Know that I am watching, that fate is watching. Do not be alarmed, for I travel with you. And if we follow the tangled strands of fate, a figure sort of materializes in a black, vague humanoid outline that sort of extends a hand. Together, we can stay on the right path.
Did you say the figure extended a hand?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron will reach towards the hand.
When you make contact, the hand goes from shadow to that of a fair-skinned, what seems to be elvish female in a sort of black raven feather adorned half dress, half sort of battle raiment, with ornate, thick raven feathers at the shoulders that drape down into a feathery black velvet cloak. Who smiles, small ports of shadow leaping from her eyes. What is it that you're seeking, I wonder, truly?
Family.
She nods. An expected answer. There are many paths that lead to family. Those that you make, and those that you've had. If you are to survive to meet any of these,
You'll need tools. You'll need faithful companions. And a proper heart of steel.
Okay. Well.
Just Keanu Reeves. Okay.
Shit. Aaron will nod and say, well, I seem to have found a ragtag band of companions, and I certainly seem to have a few tools at my disposal. What was the third thing? I'm sorry, I'm really tired.
You're fine. The gist of it was, you're gonna need bravery, friends, and some equipment. To stop the everlasting winter is to follow the path. And protection of 10 towns will preserve a legacy. In the coming days, a doom far brighter than an everlasting winter will sweep. No matter where you go, its destruction will be evident. Make haste for the southern mountains. Leave the cities for the wilderness, but prepare for when you arrive, a choice you will have to make.
Who are you?
Known by fate or time, I am a storyteller, a collector of memories and lives and tragedies long forgotten. I'm known as the Raven Queen, and I have taken quite an interest in you.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we have some business down south then.
She smiles. Someday, my form will change. Though I will be the same person, I will not wear the same face. Know now that I have come to you as a friend, but I will be more later.
Okay.
Cool. Cool, bro.
Sweet. Nice. Aaron will nod and say, well, until then.
She smiles one more time. A glimpse into one of these strands. She gestures out, holding one thread and bringing it up close, as if daring you to see what might be inside.
Aaron will look at the Raven Queen and say, I'm not a fan of spoilers.
Good. One not tempted by the fates are keen enough to make decisions when they need to be happening. Yes. Good. Go now, as I have instructed. You'll find your way.
Until we meet again.
Sooner rather than later. and back into bed you go, and you sort of go to close your eyes, open them again really quick. Yep, she's still there. Closing them, opening one. Yep, still there. And then you're out.
Disturbing.
Was there server lag with the screen transitions? That was going on.
It takes a while to spin up the location magics.
Runs on PS2.
Bit of a CPU hang there.
Little bit. And our last thing tonight. Maisie.
Ooh.
Yes.
You two are visited separately. The same realm of twisted strands of fate. Now hear this. O collector mine. The sweet soothing voice of your guiding patron. You now have before you the one of which I spoke. Guide them. Help them along their way.
As you wish, my queen.
She smiles. This particular story will unfold into many delicious sights. A tragedy and triumph fit for a feast. She kind of sits on the edge of the bed and kind of lackadaisically shuffles through her own Taraka cards, which identically match your set. Did you happen to catch their name?
Aaron?
She smiles. Suppose that's not the only name.
Well, I did suspect they had more than just the literal physical mask. But yes, I shall endeavor to find out his story and this adventure that awaits us all. Thank you.
Allow me to show you what I see. And do write this down. It will make for a good tale.
Has a journal out, scribbling.
She brings one of the strands out and sort of expands it to about an 8-inch sheet. And sort of as if one half caring parent and the other half good friend drapes an arm over your shoulder to extend this sheet. There's a man on an island. Seems to be a richly decorated cabana and feast. Seems to be joined by another person. They're being delivered what seem to be letters. The shock across this man's face that he is receiving a letter is evident as his face sort of turns to a deep furrowed brow crease. Though he does carefully undo the letter, and while reading it through, you can kind of see a single tear drop from one side onto the page before folding it back up
and putting it inside his tunic. She smiles and says, "See, this is what we strive for. Hope, emotion, slight doses of despair."
Yes. Just nodding. Just taking in the scene and...
See this person to their end. And maybe you might get to learn more. So.
I will.
Also, here's a few new plays that Volo's going to be publishing in the next few months. I would really like you to release them first to discredit him. I need him sufficiently meniable and pliable to any future tragic events he may suffer.
Very well, my queen. She'll spend the rest of the... She only needs to sleep 4 hours, so she spends the rest of the night hastily just like writing out copies and planning on how to send them out and so on.
Plagiarizing Volo's material before he even has the chance to write it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Who was that dream in the letter?
So, here's where I want to leave us tonight. Congratulations on completing the gem mine quest. I was going to give you the level last week, but I wanted us to focus on some other things before we got to there. So as we move into our next day, you've been given another pointer in the direction of perhaps what to do. Who would like to take us out?
I think one of the new people should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara, take us out.
Take us out.
Fuck all you.
Well, all right.
And big middle fingers.
That sounds in character.
In character? Okay.
Next week, who knows? Who gives a shit? Probably some men will do some shit. And yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, for all of that
Men will do
and
some
more,
shit and take the women's credit. Women will do some shit and men will take credit for it.
Probably the first in-character outro we've had.
I love it.
next week on the Longshots, Dungeons and Mansplaining.
Ayo.
Yep.
Well, Internet Land.
All right,
Been fun tonight.
we will likely see you next week on the Longshots. Dungeons and Dragons. Stick around. We're gonna raid someone.